In the heart of a forgotten town, shrouded in mist and mystery, lay an antique shop that had stood for generations. Among its dusty shelves and dimly lit corners, an innocuous wooden box resided, untouched and unnoticed by most. Its intricate carvings and peculiar aura told a tale of a curse that had plagued the shop and those who dared to possess it. Meet Emily Hawthorne, a young historian with a fascination for the supernatural. She arrived in the town to document its rich history, hoping to uncover its hidden stories. Drawn by whispers of the cursed box, Emily found herself in the dimly lit antique shop, her heart racing with a mixture of trepidation and excitement. The shop's owner, an elderly man named Mr. Abernathy, greeted Emily with a knowing smile. "Ah, you've come for the relic," he said in a raspy voice that seemed to carry a weight of years. "But be warned, dear child, the box holds a darkness beyond your imagining." Intrigued by Mr. Abernathy's cryptic warning, Emily paid for the box and left the shop. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets, she examined the box. Its carvings depicted scenes of anguish and suffering, twisted faces contorted in pain, writhing serpents, and tendrils of darkness. The box's lid was sealed with an ornate lock, but Emily found no key. Undeterred, she traced her fingers over the carvings, feeling a strange connection to the ancient artifact. With a determined resolve, she decided to unlock its secrets, no matter the cost. Late that night, Emily's room was bathed in the pale light of a flickering candle. The box lay before her, its lock gleaming in the soft glow. She had spent hours researching and experimenting, and at last, the lock yielded to her efforts. The lid creaked open, revealing a void darker than the night itself. As Emily peered into the abyss, she felt a chill crawl up her spine. Whispers filled the air, barely audible at first, but growing in intensity. They were voices of agony, torment, and despair, the echoes of souls trapped within the box's cursed depths. Fear clutched at Emily's heart, but she couldn't tear her gaze away. Within the darkness, shadows began to take shape, swirling and contorting into monstrous forms. She watched in horror as twisted figures reached out, their hands grasping for release. In a desperate attempt to close the box, Emily slammed the lid shut. The whispers ceased, and the room fell into an eerie silence. Trembling, she realized the gravity of what she had unleashed. The cursed box was a prison, a vessel that bound tortured souls in an eternal nightmare. As days went by, Emily became consumed by the relentless haunting that followed. The cursed souls sought vengeance, their whispers growing louder and more menacing. Faces appeared at her window, distorted and contorted in agony. Their cries echoed through her mind, driving her to the brink of madness. Her research led her to the truth. The box had been created by a malevolent sorcerer who had used dark rituals to ensnare the souls of the wicked. But his own greed had sealed his fate, and the curse had been passed down through the generations. In her desperation, Emily sought out Mr. Abernathy, the shopkeeper who had warned her. His eyes held a mix of sympathy and resignation as he revealed his own connection to the cursed box. He was the last in a long line of caretakers, bound by duty to keep the box hidden from the world. But time had taken its toll, and he was too weak to bear the burden any longer. Mr. Abernathy offered Emily a way to end the curse, to destroy the box and release the souls within. With a heavy heart, she agreed, determined to bring an end to the nightmare she had unleashed. Together, they performed a ritual in the heart of the town, under the light of the full moon. As the final incantation left Emily's lips, the box began to tremble. The ground shook, and a chorus of tormented wails filled the air. Shadows swirled around them, and Emily felt the weight of the cursed soul's gaze upon her. The box cracked and splintered, and with a deafening roar, it exploded in a burst of ethereal light. The souls were finally free, their anguished cries replaced by a mournful sigh that hung in the air. But Emily's relief was short-lived. The force of the release knocked her to the ground, her body battered and broken. As she lay on the cobblestones, the town's mist seemed to seep into her wounds, binding her to the cursed history she had uncovered. Emily's vision blurred, and her breath grew shallow. The last thing she saw was Mr. Abernathy, his eyes heavy with sorrow, as he muttered a final incantation. The mist enveloped her, merging her essence with the lingering curse. She became a part of the town's haunting tapestry, forever bound to the cursed box that had consumed her. And so, the Ensnaring Relic became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of delving too deeply into the unknown. The antique shop remained, its shelves holding the remnants of forgotten stories and lingering curses, while the town's mist whispered the tragic fate of Emily Hawthorne to those who dared to listen.